Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we will dive into a fascinating book titled Make It Stick by Peter C. Brown. This book explores the science of successful learning strategies and memory retention. Let's uncover the key insights from this insightful read. But before we dive into the content, I kindly request a moment of your time to appreciate this video by liking it, subscribing to the channel, and ringing that notification bell. Your support means a lot to me. Thank you so much. In Make It Stick, Peter C. Brown challenges conventional learning methods by revealing how common study habits often fail to promote long-term retention. The author emphasizes the importance of embracing cognitive techniques that enhance learning durability. Throughout the book, Brown emphasizes that forgetting is a natural part of the learning process. However, he introduces effective strategies that help learners encode information more deeply and retain it for longer periods. One crucial concept discussed in Make It Stick is spaced repetition, which involves revisiting information at intervals to strengthen memory. Additionally, retrieval practice encourages learners to actively recall information, leading to better long-term retention. Interleaving, on the other hand, suggests mixing different topics during study sessions to enhance overall cognitive flexibility. By integrating these evidence-based learning strategies into their study routines, readers of Make It Stick can boost their academic performance and retain knowledge more effectively. Brown's practical advice provides a roadmap for mastering complex subjects and developing a deep understanding of various concepts. In Make It Stick, Peter C. Brown, Henry Roediger, and Mark McDaniel offer an introduction to cognitive science for readers who wish to enhance their individual learning processes. The authors believe that most people tend to adopt unproductive learning styles. As a corrective, they outline proven learning strategies backed by extensive empirical data and examples. Although intelligence is conditioned by biology and the environment, neuroplasticity, which is the brain's capacity to change and develop over time, makes it possible for an individual to adapt and learn new abilities. With conscious adoption of specific strategies, learners can turn neuroplasticity to their advantage. Many students and teachers believe that repetition and intense focus are essential components of any learning strategy. But this is a false assumption. It results from observations that these strategies appear to yield results in the short term, giving both teachers and students the impression that information has been deeply absorbed. However, there is no shortcut to deep learning. Creating lasting change in the mind is no easy feat. Effective strategies for producing enduring results are slow to yield them. Effort, patience, and discipline are required to achieve long-term gains. One of the most persistent learning myths concerns something called mass practice. Cramming for exams is a typical example of this strategy. Although cramming might result in a higher test score than doing nothing at all, it is much more effective to allow time to elapse between study lessons by spacing them out. Reading through learning material and following study with a self-quiz after a suitable interval has elapsed is a more effective learning strategy than spending the same amount of time trying to memorize information. Focusing on recall over time leads to a deeper understanding and mastery of knowledge than when material is simply reread. Another myth concerns the consistency of information. Traditional school lessons are typically segmented into topics, as when an English literature syllabus begins with Old English, moves through Middle English and Renaissance literature, and then on to Romanticism, Modernism, and contemporary texts. Rather than focus on one set of problems before moving on to another, it is better to shuffle things around by alternating and varying different types of related problems. When exposure to information is spaced out, the material is partially forgotten. The process of remembering partially forgotten knowledge forces the mind to exert considerable effort to retrieve what it learned, even with material reviewed as recently as a week prior. This exertion requires learners to sift through their repository of knowledge to locate what they are seeking. In so doing, they contextualize new information and deepen their grasp of it. Through rapid exposure to topics that are both related and different, the mind trains itself to see how information fits into the larger picture. Armed with these learning strategies, the mind can slowly convert knowledge into habits of thought. The mind's initial encounter with knowledge will store it as a short-term memory. When recalling this knowledge from memory, the mind constantly updates it, connecting it to more recently acquired knowledge. Recall can be aided by mnemonic devices which help to access complex knowledge. If learners retrieve that knowledge frequently and embed it in the mind deeply, its recall becomes second nature. This slow and arduous learning process allows learners to undergo a process of trial and error, measuring their faculties against objective criteria. By using flashcards, for instance, a student exercises his recall memory while squaring his knowledge with the facts on the cards. A violin player may think that she is performing a correct vibrato, but she may be wrong. Her mentor's corrective feedback ensures that she doesn't slip into a bad habit. In areas where recall is diminished or lacking, more work is required. With repeated trial and error, a learner avoids the pitfalls of subjective perceptions, which are frequently misleading. Because trial and error is at the core of effective learning strategies, failure is inherent to growth. If learners understand this, they can change their attitude about what they can do, with the understanding that they are in control of their own success. If learners embrace an arduous learning curve and trust research over popular assumptions about learning, they set themselves on the road to mastery. Make It Stick explores ways to memorize faster and make learning easier, all while debunking myths and common misconceptions about learning being difficult and attributed to those who have highly native cognitive skills, with the help of researchers who've studied the science of memory their entire life. Learning is something we all must practice every day. Going through life, we get to learn new things every day, simply because this is what it takes to survive and grow. Change is constant. Whether you think that you can learn more and become better, or that your power is limited and you can't achieve what you want. Therefore, you must train your mind to adopt a winning mentality and help you become the best version of yourself. Learning and absorbing information rapidly is what will get you closer to your goals. It also shows that accomplishing whatever you want is possible. Even though your endeavors so far show that studying and retaining information is difficult, that won't be the case anymore. Make It Stick by Peter C. Brown will make you forget about all the inconveniences that keep you from being your best self. Let's explore my favorite 3 lessons from the book. The most common learning practices are, in fact, the most ineffective ones. The retrieval practice effect, or the testing effect, is one sure way to achieve mastery in a domain. When you'll be able to explain a complex topic in simple words, you'll be fully mastering the topic. Let's go on and explore these interesting lessons in detail to reveal the key takeaways of the summary. Lesson 1. Ditch the traditional studying practices and adopt the right habits of successful learning. Growing up, we were taught that studying implies repeating the same notion countless times till you get it right, or that doing the same type of mental exercise will ultimately lead to mastering the subject. However, this approach to studying has proved to be counterproductive and ineffective. In fact, studying by repeating continuously will even fade away in a short period of time. Repeating will make you feel familiar with the subject and leave you feeling good about yourself while doing it. However, it will give you a false sense of mastery. In fact, you'll end up having fluency in the domain, and that means that you get what it's about at that moment. However, you'll forget the basics quickly and lose control over the knowledge gained. So what's the alternative? Isn't this what we were taught to do growing up? Truth be told, the people who thought about these practices didn't know better at the time. But luckily, modern studies have got the answer. It seems that by adopting practices like spaced repetition, the testing effect, elaboration, or tying the information to memories, you too can tap into the secrets of successful learning. Lesson 2. Practice retrieval to gain full mastery of a subject. So far, we've discussed the downsides of repetitive studying. By rereading and highlighting fragments of your lecture, you're only subjecting your brain to an increased effort that doesn't pay off. However, adding a simple yet effective twist to this practice can change its outcome considerably. Next time you're struggling to retain something, try repeating paragraphs or bits of information in spaced-out sessions. For example, if you read something and worked on memorizing it for quite some time, give yourself a 10-minute break before repeating it so that your brain consolidates the information. Instead of doing mindless recitation, think actively about the information you read and try to apprehend it in a way that makes sense to you. You can do so by linking it to something that you already know so that you remember it easier. To just read material and hope it will stick to you is a complete waste of time. To practice retrieval implies giving yourself time to consolidate the information. But that's not all. Once you close the book, it's time to ask yourself what you remember. What were the key points of your lecture? And other important aspects you might want to consider. Doing so will activate your brain and make it look for information in your memory. However, going back to the top and rereading it will keep your mind inactive. And it won't help you much when it comes to mastering the subject. If you want, you could try this exercise right now. Without reading everything from the top, try to remember the key aspects of this summary and what you've learned so far. Lesson 3. Elaborating on a topic and explaining it in simple words will make you understand it better. Elaborating on a topic can help you reveal some aspects that remained hidden until that point, thus making you gain a deeper understanding of that subject. When you get to talk about what you've read and studied, your brain is actively looking for ways to make sense of the information, which in turn will make you remember it more easily. Therefore, it's considered that if you can't explain a topic in a way that even a 5-year-old kid would understand, it means that you don't fully understand it yourself. To be able to simplify a subject to such an extent implies having a high level of mastery in that domain. That is why teachers seem to know certain subjects so well, because they repeat it to people numerous times and in different ways. Another way to make information stick is by linking it to already existing information in your brain. Currently, researchers found that there is no limit to what you can learn when you associate something new with an older memory. Therefore, by elaborating information in a simple manner, repeating it in spaced intervals, and connecting it to already existing recollections, you can make sure that you'll achieve full mastery in a domain and become a successful learner. If you've ever found yourself studying restlessly, but not retaining information, Make It Stick is the right book for you. Not only will this book reveal why the traditional studying methods we've been taught all along are wrong, but it will offer a series of valuable practices that can help anyone retain more information for a prolonged period of time. If you want to find out how to learn successfully and become more knowledgeable in any domain, make sure to give this book a read. Those are the individuals who truly deserve to immerse themselves in this extraordinary book. The 20-year-old college student who finds it hard to study for their exams. The 26-year-old person who's taking a course while being a full-time employee and wants to make the most out of their time when studying, or the 40-year-old person who wants to learn new things to advance in their career. Here are some valuable insights extracted from this captivating book. I believe you will find them highly beneficial. Feel encouraged to explore its wisdom further and let it spark new perspectives and ideas on your journey. Conventional assumptions about learning are deeply flawed. Remembered knowledge is embedded in the mind more deeply than knowledge that is simply read over and over again. Effective learning demands hard work and requires time. Partial forgetting is integral to efficient learning. Studying different information or skills in quick succession results in more efficient knowledge. The brain is mutable. People control their abilities more than they think. Failure is key to success. Surface memory is a portal to deeper knowledge. Peter C. Brown challenges the myth of passive learning and uncovers the secrets to retaining knowledge for the long haul. The core message of Make It Stick is that successful learning requires effortful retrieval and active engagement with the material. Spaced repetition, a cornerstone of effective learning, involves strategically spacing out study sessions to reinforce memory and promote long-term retention. Proactive retrieval practice encourages learners to actively recall information rather than simply rereading it, leading to stronger neural connections. In addition, interleaving different topics during study sessions fosters a deeper understanding and enhances overall cognitive flexibility. By adopting these proven techniques, readers of Make It Stick can optimize their study habits and elevate their learning outcomes. The book serves as a roadmap for cultivating durable knowledge and achieving mastery in any subject matter. Embracing the principles outlined in Make It Stick empowers individuals to unlock their full learning potential. Countless learners have experienced the transformative impact of Make It Stick on their academic journey. From students to professionals, the book has reshaped the way people approach learning, leading to improved grades, enhanced comprehension, and a newfound passion for knowledge acquisition. In conclusion, Make It Stick by Peter C. Brown is a game-changer for anyone looking to enhance their learning process and boost their memory retention. Remember, The key to success lies in proactive engagement, consistent practice, and a commitment to lifelong learning. You can find the link to acquire a copy of this incredible book in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you found this book summary helpful, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more book summaries and insightful content. And share this uplifting summary with someone who may benefit from hearing them. Leave a comment down below if you've read this book or have any other recommendations for us. Until next time, stay awesome and keep striving for excellence in your learning journey.